Welcome to the Empty Nest Kitchen, where we're finding fun in the kitchen now that the kids have flown the coop. I'm Christine Van Bloom, a cooking teacher with over 25 years of experience, here to show you tips, tricks, and joy in your kitchen, all while trying something new. Let's get cooking.
This week, I am absolutely thrilled because I'm thrilled every week. We know that. But in my journey to meet the coolest empty nest ladies out there, today I bring you Meredith McAdam. Hey, Meredith.
Hello.
I am so excited because we don't hear Meredith's got it all going on, and she's probably going to blush at me saying that. But Meredith is a psychotherapist, Frederick Therapy. But what drew me to you was your living situation. So before we get into job, tell me where you live.
We live in a 43-foot fifth wheel, and we travel around the country. So we move pretty much every 2 weeks, living in our trailer, living and working in our trailer.
Oh my God. This is the coolest thing. So Meredith and I lived in the same town, and we kind of just knew each other on the periphery, just kind of things. And then you and your husband sold everything.
Yeah, everything. Gave it all away.
The kids were up and out, right?
Yes, yeah.
And you sold the house with the pool.
Yep, yeah.
And now you're officially residents of
South Dakota.
This is so great. So this is a big move. Like, this is a big move. Because people talk about doing this move, but you and your husband, you really did it.
Yeah.
What made you make this choice?
We've always done a lot of camping with our kids. And then when they were in later high school, we got rid of our camper. And then in 2020, we decided to get a camper just for us. So in September, Labor Day weekend 2020, we went to Pittsburgh and picked up the camper that we had chosen. And that night we were staying outside of a winery, just sitting in a field, watching the deer and talking about how we thought we wanted to do it full time. And by October, we were giving away our stuff, and we ordered our home in January. And then we ended up, our house sold faster than we expected. And we have friends who had a house in Bethany. So we lived there for 3 months, which was a great transition. And then picked up our trailer in June and have been living in it ever since June 2021.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this is crazy. And I have to tell y'all, Meredith and her husband swung through Frederick for an event, and I got to visit the trailer. I mean, saying a trailer feels so...
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have no idea. If you've never been in this, well, first, can you explain to folks what a fifth wheel is?
Yeah, so a fifth wheel is towed by a truck, and it's not like a trailer is towed behind a vehicle. Ours is sort of attached into the bed of the truck. So our bedroom and one of the bathrooms is up over the top of the truck when we're pulling it.
That's so cool. It's so cool. So like an RV, you would drive the RV by itself. But this allows you to unhook it and take the truck to go and do what you do.
Right. And this is considered also a toy hauler. So the back third of the camper is called a garage. And my husband, Sean, built 2 offices in their garage instead. And then the whole back wall is a ramp that can go down so you could take your toys, your motorcycle, your golf cart if you wanted. But we use it as a porch area. So it's just straight out, and it's just that much more extra space.
It is so crazy, guys. It's the coolest thing. First of all, Meredith and her husband are so welcoming. It's incredible. But you walk up and you guys know I'm into the kitchen. You know I'm into the kitchen. And Meredith, I was blown away. I have to say, I was blown away by the whole thing. You walk into basically the living area, right? And it is a decent kitchen. My kitchen in New York City was way smaller than that. And it's got an island with the sink. You have a fireplace and a couch. You have a pantry. I mean, is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. We joke that we don't feel like we're camping. We don't feel like we're missing out. We're really comfortable. We've got 400 square feet. That whole living room area is comfortable. I don't feel like I'm missing anything in the kitchen. In our office space, when the kids come, we could take the wall out between our offices, and there's a bed, a queen size bed that comes down so they can sleep in that. We used to have 2 full bathrooms, but he took out the second shower and added shelving, so we have a bathroom and a half. We really have a lot of space. We're really comfortable. We have a washer and dryer. That would be a deal breaker. I wouldn't want to live without that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was so, cozy, not in real estate terms. It was cozy and just, it felt warm and comfortable. And I was there on a gray, icky day. And I was just blown away. I just thought it was the coolest thing.
I've often thought
So,
it's sort of funny too. If you're standing outside, the contrast is funny because it's a massive trailer, but a
yeah.
tiny home when you go inside.
Yeah, it is. But the office setup was really neat to me, so that you each, and they're small offices,
Yeah.
but you each have your own space
Mhm. Yeah, with the
right
door that
there.
closes in between and lots of
Yeah,
soundproofing.
and it is soundproofed.
Yeah.
I just thought that was really, really cool because since you're a therapist,
Yeah.
you're doing your sessions, so you want to have it all soundproof for privacy and
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Yeah, and I don't want my clients to hear other voices, so the soundproofing has been good. We're always working on it. We're always trying to improve it, but it's pretty good right now.
That's so neat. And you said when you put the wall down of the toy hauler that it's kind of like you have a wall of windows?
Yes, so the whole back of it, which is the whole wall of my office, is all glass. So it's sliding doors. And so when the deck is down, that's all open. So right now there's sun pouring in. It's wonderful.
Uh, and where are you today?
Today we're in Cape May, New Jersey. It's
And where are
wonderful.
you going next?
We're actually going back to New York. We have friends who live in Corning, so we spend a lot of time there. Our goal is to chase 70, so we don't do so well around the holidays. It's going to be cold in Corning, but after Christmas, we'll be heading south.
Oh, that's excellent. And you said you do some sort of ferry. Are you going to Ocracoke or?
Yeah, actually, we took the ferry from Lewis to Cape May this time. It was our
Okay.
camper's 9th ferry ride.
Yeah.
But January 1st, we're always on the ferry from the Outer Banks down into Ocracoke, and we spend the first 2 weeks of the year there. It's really quiet and peaceful. Both of us love it.
I just can't. I seriously can't imagine. Does your husband, is he still working as well?
He is. He jokes that his number one job is keeping me connected so I can do my job, but he has his own computer job.
That's crazy. So you are in, what do you call the trailer?
A fifth wheel. Oh, the name we call it
Yeah,
Thor.
yeah, yeah. Because you gotta have names. Even my bike has a name. My bike is Bessie. So you guys take Thor, and are you mostly up and down the East Coast?
A lot of the time we are, but we've gone out to like Colorado, Denver, Wyoming. We've been through South Dakota. So over time, we'll get farther and farther west.
That's so cool. And why South Dakota? What's the deal with being a resident of South Dakota?
They are one of the 3 states that are friendliest to people who live like us. So it's South Dakota, Texas, and jeepers, what is the third one? Totally going blank. Well, there are 3 states that are good for this.
Yeah.
In Texas, you'd actually have to have a special driver's license to pull what we're pulling, which I actually think is smart, but we don't need that in South Dakota. There's no state income tax in South Dakota. They make it really friendly for how we do our mail, too. So we get our mail sent through there, and they get it sent to us whenever we need it. We tell them where to package it and send it.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Cool. So if somebody wanted to do this, like, I told you before, my husband isn't, absolutely not. He wants to put his roots down. I'm like, yeah, let's try it. If somebody wanted to do this, what would you tell them? If somebody came up and said, I am so in, how do I do it? What are some of the things you'd tell them to look out for?
Um, you have to be good at getting rid of your stuff and living with a lot less stuff. I found it really helpful to follow different YouTubers. Changing Lanes was a big one. You, Me, and the RV. I don't know that I'd be living like this if I hadn't studied them and learned a lot from them, what was working, what wasn't working, because we didn't know anybody who was living this way. So we didn't have anyone to talk to about it. So
Oh,
I found that helpful. I would have liked to have had somebody to talk to about it. I talked to a lot of people who are interested in it, but they end up having a partner who either isn't interested or doesn't want to get rid of their stuff. So kind of a lot to think about that way.
I think I could get rid of all my stuff. I gotta be honest. I think as the kids age out, I think I'd be better at just tossing.
Yeah, we really
things.
felt like we were prisoners of our home and our stuff. There was just so much stuff, and we were always talking about clearing it out. And we felt like we were spending our weekends fixing stuff in the house. So now
Yeah.
it takes 10 minutes to clean the camper, and then we go off and do whatever we want to do. It's so freeing.
Oh, but your husband is, I mean, that man has all of the minutia of running it,
Yeah.
of like the electric and the pipe, not pipe, but the hose,
Yeah.
the stinky snake or whatever it was called.
Stinky
You know,
slinky.
he was showing me all of this stuff. And I mean, bless his heart, I understood about 10% of it, but I was so impressed. And it must really be helpful having someone who totally gets the electric, the internet, like how all of that stuff works.
Yeah, it really does. I often say I feel like we're living in a science project because he loves doing all of that. This summer, he put solar panels on the roof, and he's excited about how much wattage we're getting each step. Yeah, he knows how to do a lot, and it's a big deal because if anything goes wrong, he can fix so much of it. Because otherwise, if we have to take it somewhere, where do we live? Where do we work? It's
Right.
complicated. So it really helps that he can do so much.
Have you ever had to give in and say, I cannot handle it tonight and like go get a hotel room?
No, we are just
No.
so comfortable. Yeah. It's funny.
Oh,
So many people say, oh, you can come stay with us, like park out front and stay in our house. But we're comfortable. We are really, really comfortable. So
it's the neatest. It really is. All right. So let me ask you this. One of the things is you have to park it, right? You have to. So if you're in Cape May, are you at a campground in Cape May?
yes, we're almost always in a campground, and we tend to stay at KOAs just because they are, Campground of America. There's a predictability to it, which we need for working. But we're also branching out a little more. Like, I really like camping outside of cities and then going and touring cities. We spend the weekends exploring and walking all over the place. So I'm finding more and more campgrounds closer to cities. And so we stay in them. And then on weekends, sometimes we stay at Harvest Host. There are a lot of different versions of it, but it's a subscription program where you pay, it's like $80 a year. And then you have access to over 1,000 sites that are breweries, wineries, museums, and farms where you can contact them and you can stay overnight for free where they are. And all they ask is that you buy whatever they're selling. So that's been a lot of fun. We've been to some really neat places that way.
Oh, what's that called again?
Harvest Host.
And I'll put a link to that in the show notes
Yeah.
because you park outside a winery.
Yeah.
And you guys love good food and good
Yes.
wine, right?
Yeah. And good beer. He
Have
loves
you-
the breweries we go to.
So not a real hardship having to
No.
buy something from where you're staying. Well, what does it typically cost? Like I know some people think, okay, I'm going to ditch everything. I'm going to buy the truck. And you guys have the truck with the 4 wheels on the back,
Right.
like the wider
Yeah,
one.
dually.
Because how much does Thor weigh?
Oh, that's a good question. At least he would know better. Like 16,000 pounds, I want to say.
Wow. So you really have to have something
Yeah.
that's gonna, yeah.
It could
All
be
right.
more. I'm bad with
So,
that kind of stuff.
well, but it's heavy. It's
Yes.
like a big
Yeah.
thing. So I know people think, okay, that's going to cut my expenses way down. How much do you have to pay when you go to a campground? Like, what's the average or what's the range?
Yeah. It can be anywhere from like $30 a night to $150 a night or more. So,
Ooh,
yeah. I I don't think you save a lot of money living this way. You know, what we pay to stay at campgrounds can be similar to rent or a mortgage. Um, you could do it cheaper, but we want to be comfortable.
yeah. Yeah, I love that. All right. So if somebody's looking at this, you say find someone else who's doing it. Is there a community at all?
That's a good question. Not that I'm aware of. And we know there are full timers out there, but we're not quite meeting as many as we had hoped. We've met some, and like here in Cape May, we meet with the same people every year. We've met up with other people too that we've met along the way. And then our friends from New York come and visit wherever we are. The kids come to us too. They have all kinds of cool adventures. But I am not really aware of a community.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of making your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you love about it?
I love the adventure. I love going places. I'm still not tired of the freedom of not taking care of a house. I love the small space and just the ease of it. So I do a lot of crafts. We do a lot of exercise, and just spending our weekends exploring is so much more fun than what we were doing taking care of a house. It was good. The house was great while the kids were there, but once they were gone, we realized we were living in such a tiny part of the house that we didn't need all that space.
I think that is a feeling a lot of people who are empty nesters have.
Yeah.
My husband and I joke that our house is perfect for two people. Of course, there were four of us, right? And it felt perfect then too. But now we've kind of expanded to fit the space.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah. But, we have right now, I'm only kind of an empty nester because one came back. So I guess that's something you don't have to worry about too much.
Yeah. And both our kids are really stable, which is good because that would kill me if they did need that. And it would be hard to offer that at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. We felt super lucky, but I just love your place so much. Now, tell me this. When I was there, you had just gotten the air fryer installed.
Right.
Or the toaster. Was it
Air
a toaster
fryer.
oven?
Air fryer, which
It is
does
an air fryer.
toasting. Yeah.
And it's big. It's not little.
Yeah.
It's not like a teeny thing. Like you have full-size stuff in that kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
What sort of dinners are you making?
Well, it's funny. We were just talking about this. Because we live and work in the same space, we go out to dinner at least a couple nights a week just to be able to get away. And it's also part of exploring the area. But we cook a lot of salmon, chicken. I do a lot of baking. I make cinnamon buns, all kinds of breads.
And you have a full-size stove with an oven.
Right.
4 burners oven.
Yeah.
You have a full-size fridge.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're not the gigantic ones.
Right.
But they're not the little teeny
Yeah. It's a residential
dorm
fridge.
size
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. That was important to me, especially like doing breads and stuff. I need that space.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Oh, I love that. All right. So where are you? You're headed to New York next.
Yeah.
And you'll stay there for a while?
Yeah, for about a month. And then we stay in College Park for about a month, and then we'll head south. We'll be going through Ocracoke for our 2 weeks. It's so nice there. We just park the truck. We walk to restaurants. There's a nice wine bar there. It's just so peaceful. And then we'll be going to Charleston, Savannah, St. Augustine. We'll spend a week outside the Kennedy Space Center, 2 weeks in Clearwater, and then work our way back up through Georgia, probably sometime in
So you
Alabama.
have this mapped out.
Oh, yeah. I have reservations
far-
made for a year.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So you could look at a calendar and tell me 6 months from now where you'll be.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So is that hard making the reservations?
I don't think it's hard, but it is time consuming. So it's easier just to sit down and knock it out, have it all planned out for us. Plus, if there are
It's,
changes, we know what we need to do. I don't know. I like doing it that
yeah.
way.
How far in advance can you book? Typically, can you book places?
That's one of my challenges. If I move outside of KOA, sometimes they only do reservations, 6 months in advance. So I might have to wait. Harvest Host, I think, is about 6 months in advance too. So that slows me down a little bit. But
And have you stayed at a vineyard?
yes, yeah, we've stayed at a number of them.
A number of them.
Yeah.
Any favorites?
No, we've had a lot of bad wine, like grape juice, but it's always great experiences. We always have a good time. It's fun. And I can't think of any favorites off the top of my head.
Are they like farm breweries that you're staying at?
Sometimes, yeah, all different kinds. Yeah, I wish I could remember any of the names of them, but
I put you on the spot. Well, I just love the way that you're living, but I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about your job because you have a cool job.
I do.
Tell me what you do.
So I'm a licensed clinical social worker and I'm a psychotherapist with my own private practice. And I am a sex therapist also. So I'm trained as a sex therapist because I really like working with, and I work with couples and I work with people who are polyamorous, monogamous, and I really like working with people in the LGBTQ community.
What drew you to this line of work?
Psychotherapy is kind of cool because you can work in different areas and get training in whatever is needed and whatever I'm interested in. I also do a lot of
Yeah.
work with like partners and people in relationship with narcissists. So
Oh,
yeah, when I had an office, I used to run support groups for partners of narcissists, and I love doing that. It's just harder to do remotely.
yeah, I would think. I mean, I don't think support groups
Yeah,
would be your setup is probably better for a one-on-one
right. Yeah,
sort of thing.
yeah.
Oh, do you miss doing the groups?
I do. I miss the groups. The rest of the time, I really like working this way. It's worked out well. And it's worked out with couples this way, working virtually.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at from the other side, from where you are. I think that little bit of distance by having you on a screen might be helpful because it can be a touchy subject.
Yeah. Yeah. And people don't have to commute and they're usually comfortable where they are. I think it works out
Yeah.
really well.
Oh, that's neat. And what drew you to the LGBTQ community?
I don't know exactly. So I'm licensed in Maryland and in South Dakota, and I think South Dakota really needs therapists who work in the LGBTQ community.
Now, does that mean that you can only have clients from those states?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's neat that you did South Dakota. I think you may be right
Yeah.
that they would need a little extra
Yeah.
help out there.
Yeah. And I'm finding polyamorous clients there and people in the LGBTQ community. I'm really excited about that.
I love it. I mean, I just think there's a need across the board. I'm a huge therapy fan, so what can I say?
Yeah, I think we all can use it. We just go through periods in our lives where we feel stuck, and it's great to get extra help.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you do this full time?
I do. Yeah.
You do. So, I mean, to me, just the changes you have made in the past couple of years, and here you are still running your practice
Yeah.
full time. I mean, I just think you're the coolest. I don't know what else to say. I think so many people want to have this touch of adventure in their lives, but it's so easy to get stuck, right? It's so easy to just do the status quo and just keep going because it's familiar and it's what you know.
Hmm.
But your job exposes you to so much interesting stuff. And then changing how you're living exposes you to so much interesting stuff. 10 years ago, could you have seen this?
No. Sean could have.
Yeah.
When we first got together, he talked about this. Someday we should live in an RV. And I was thinking, you're crazy. I'd never do that. And now here we are. And I think with kids, it wouldn't have worked. We laugh that if we had done this with our kids, they'd have run away. This would not have worked
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah. I think you're right. But as a two-person, and you got to spend time apart, right? Because you're working full time.
Right. Yeah. And our exercise takes us apart here and there. So, we're out walking, running, biking. So that's good too. We're not doing everything
That is
together.
good too.
Yeah.
Well, when I saw you, your husband was getting ready to work an event, and I said, "Oh, are you going to go?" And you were like, "Heck no. I'm walking downtown. I'm doing this. I'm doing that." And I was so impressed by that.
Yeah. Yeah, we do our own thing. We just share the truck that pulls the camper. So sometimes, like, if I go and spend time with kids or friends, I'll rent a car. But most of the time, we don't have any trouble with the one vehicle.
And how long have you been married?
It's been 32 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool. All right. Well, you don't have a blog or anything that you do, right?
No.
Oh, you should.
Keep being
You
told
totally
that.
should.
That could be a whole job
I'm
by
telling you.
itself. And
It
you were
could.
talking about other people thinking about doing this. I think one thing that
Yeah.
we're not taught as a culture is to ask ourselves, what do I want? Especially women are
We're
not
not.
taught to ask that. And I think
Yeah.
that helps guide this kind of thing. What do I want? Like, I want more freedom. I want more flexibility. I want more adventure. So I think that can help guide a person in whatever they're looking for.
I want all those things. I just went and ate my way across Los Angeles. So no camper. But yeah, I think you're right. And I think that brings up such an interesting point because I think that women, I'm like very rah-rah women. That's the whole reason I
Yeah.
have this silly little podcast. But I think that we never asked what we want, and I'm married to a great guy, very considerate. We're like a team.
Nice.
I really feel we're a team, and I still will think about what he wants over what I want.
Right.
Because he's making me? Absolutely not. But because it's just so ingrained,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So right now I want a dog,
Nice.
and that is not happening. So we're going to have to figure that part out. But I think you're totally right. So if a resident of Maryland or South Dakota, I don't know if anybody's listened from South Dakota yet.
Yeah.
I look at the list of where everybody's from. It's incredible. It's so cool. But if they wanted to reach out to you, how would they find you?
I'm happy if you put my email address in the, yeah.
All right. Do you have a website?
For work, yeah, fredricktherapy.org. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I love that. So I'm going to link to that. And if anybody's interested, you can reach out to me and I'll put you in touch with Meredith
Yeah.
and that about her fifth wheel life. And I think it's so awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time from wherever you are, New Jersey. Cape May's so pretty
Oh,
too.
it is. It's a great time of year to be
Is it?
here too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you close to the water right now?
It's a little less than a mile to walk to it. So we can walk there and walk into town. It's beautiful.
So good.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So I'll put Meredith's contact info in the show notes. And Meredith, safe travels on your next adventure. And thank you so much for taking the time to be on.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for having the podcast and everything that you're offering. It's wonderful.
Oh my gosh. I just have to get everybody signed up for my menopause meal plans.
I
and
love it.
I'll be in good shape.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I
You've been
do.
doing it, right?
Yeah, I've just started with it, but I'm so impressed. Like you said, there just isn't enough information out there about menopause and healthcare and food. So I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Oh, you. I didn't even pay her to say that. I just got all goosebumpy. I'm so excited. So great. All right, everyone. So thank you so much. You can find Meredith's info in the show notes. And as always, I will see you in the kitchen.